This is Esther, host of Once Upon a Crime, and you're listening to a special bonus episode, Love Letters from the Black Dahlia. Before Elizabeth Short became the most infamous murder victim in America, she was simply Beth, a young woman searching for love, adventure, and belonging. In our last episode, we heard her story, from her childhood in Medford, Massachusetts, to young adulthood, when she fell in love with a serviceman, only to have her heart broken when he became a casualty of war. In this episode, we'll get a more personal look at Elizabeth Short's life through her letters written during wartime. We hear her voice through her own intimate, handwritten letters sent to the two men who stole her heart. Through her words, as well as those from Lieutenant Gordon Fickling and Major Matt Gordon, we gain an inside look at her hopes and dreams for the future, a future that was soon tragically cut short.
Dear Gordon, I miss our walks by the water and how you made me laugh. It's strange to think how far away you are now, flying over countries I can only imagine. Don't worry for me, though I'm keeping busy, working, meeting people, trying to stay out of trouble. I go to the movies and think of you every time the newsreel shows the soldiers marching. I like to believe the world will still be kind to us when this is all over.
At 20, Beth was bright and full of life. Her letters to Gordon were light, playful, a girl's heart testing the boundaries of first love. But beneath the teasing, there was affection and loneliness. It was precisely what the lieutenant needed, so far from home fighting for his country. A pretty girl's attention kept his spirits high and gave him something to look forward to when the darkness of war would one day come to an end. He soon felt himself falling deeply in love with the dark-haired beauty, and his fears of losing Beth, along with pangs of jealousy, come through in his heartfelt letters.
Dear Beth, your devotion is my most precious possession. Darling, how many lips have joined with yours since ours last met? Sometimes I go crazy when I think of such things.
Gordon's jealousy was not unwarranted. Beth, as much as she was infatuated with the handsome soldier, had a fickle heart. At just 20 years old, she may have been more taken with the idea of being in love than the reality of what was required for genuine commitment. Emotionally immature, Beth's letters to Gordon sometimes insensitively reported on her social activities, including references to casual dates with other men. She mentioned one man in particular, a Major Matthew Gordon. The lieutenant continued writing and calling Beth, but he soon found himself increasingly unable to reach her. One letter expresses his frustration.
I tried to call you for the 6th time since 11 a.m. I hope you enjoyed your breakfast date, which you appear to have kept even though you said you were not going to. If I am ever able to understand you, I'm going to consider myself quite accomplished.
Eventually, their correspondence dwindled, and then stopped altogether. For Beth had fallen head over heels for war hero Major Matt Gordon. Major Matthew Martin Gordon was a decorated airman serving in the Army Air Forces. He'd joined the elite mercenary fighter squadron, the Flying Tigers, during the lead-up to the war. He'd been awarded the Distinguished Flying Cross during his first tour of duty for shooting down 2 Japanese Imperial Navy fighter planes. Beth met the Major just before New Year's Eve, 1945. They rang in the new year together on their first and only date. Matt was sent back overseas, and he and Beth began a passionate 8-month correspondence.
Darling, I am just so much in love that I can't see beyond my nose. Someone said they could see the torch I'm carrying for you from a mile away. Sometimes I wake up and can't believe you're real, that someone as brave and wonderful as you could ever belong to me. I dream of the day I can meet you off the train and finally wear your ring. I'll wait for you, no matter how long.
Matt had proposed to Beth by letter, and she had accepted. They were to be married once he returned to the States. He planned to take his new bride home with him to Colorado. Still, did Matt feel a little bit of hesitation in his young fiancée's letters? It appears he felt some doubts about her true feelings for him. In one letter to his mother, he writes,
"Mom, do you think she really loves me? It kind of looks like she does. In 11 days, she wrote me 27 letters."
Although most of Matt Gordon's letters have been lost to time, we can piece together some of what he must have written to Beth from her replies, which have survived. From the following letter, we can infer that once again, Beth admitted to her beau that she had dated other men while he was away.
Yes, I have dated since I've seen you last, and most of them disgusted me. Naturally, there are exceptions.
Was Beth so new at love that she was unaware how this might have stung her long-distance boyfriend? Or was she trying to gauge his true devotion by sowing seeds of jealousy? In either case, her letters do express her love for Matt and her excitement about becoming his wife. Beth was certain Matt Gordon was her forever. When he died in a plane crash just weeks before he was scheduled to return home, Beth's world collapsed. Friends said she carried his photograph everywhere and spoke of him as if he were still alive. Sometime later, Beth, perhaps searching for something or someone to cling to, reached out to her jilted love interest, Gordon Fickling.
I've thought about you often, Gordon. Sometimes I wonder if things would have been different if I hadn't let you go. You were kind to me and I miss that. Maybe one day we'll meet again.
One can only imagine how Gordon felt about hearing from the girl who got away. But his letters to her prove that she'd never left his heart.
I have been trying to convince myself that you really want to hear from me again after all this time. I have always remembered you. I can't deny that.
Beth's letters soon gave him hope. Now being transferred to a California Air Force base, Gordon shyly asked her if she'd consider joining him there. "May I love you?" he asked. Beth agreed to make the trip west. Gordon's response was one of happy excitement.
No one will be happier to see you than a certain lieutenant at Long Beach.
After losing Matt, Beth reached back toward the familiar, perhaps to recapture the love she'd once known, or to find a reason to keep believing in it. When Gordon invited her to California, it must have felt like fate calling once again. Through these letters, we see Elizabeth Short not as the legend she became, but as she truly was: hopeful, romantic, endlessly optimistic. She believed in love, even when it hurt her. She believed in beauty, even when life showed her its uglier side. And she believed in tomorrow, until tomorrow ran out. Thank you for listening, subscribing, and following Once Upon a Crime. Your support allows me to tell the stories behind the stories, to bring voices like Elizabeth's back into the light. Join me next time as I continue the series Broken, The Black Dahlia Murder, Part 3, exploring Elizabeth Short's time in Los Angeles. We'll discover the struggles she faced as a woman alone in the city, the friends she made and lost, the men she dated, and meet those in Beth's life who would fall under suspicion for her murder. Until next time, be good to one another.